I am Mike.
And I'm Maggie, and welcome to the M&M Debrief, the podcast where Mike and Maggie discuss the top stories in politics and sports and try to make sense of the headlines. Mike, do we have any follow-ups in the last episode?
Mhm. Yes, I got a couple. I made an incredible math error in the last episode. I said that Lake Mead, which is our largest freshwater reservoir in the country, I said it was 1,400,000 feet deep. I misspoke.
Maybe you meant square feet, like square,
I
cubic
actually,
feet.
there was I misread a period for a comma. I'm sorry. It's 1,040 feet deep. No, sorry,
Oh,
1,040.09 feet deep, and that's its lowest. Sorry,
all
thought that
right.
was
Still pretty deep,
still pretty deep, but yeah, for the you
not a million feet deep.
geologists out there, I think 1,000,000 feet would put us to the middle of the Earth's core center or something.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Let me see. I should get glasses so I can distinguish my commas from my periods. I gotta. This might actually be a main topic we could talk about later. The whole Trump escape thing. The two big items this week is very, not much on the war. It was all Trump's escape route, and then the Abraham Lincoln, the issue on the Abraham Lincoln. So I guess that counts as the war. But yeah, apparently most people are saying it was basically a hoax by Israel. The intelligence came from Israel. And a lot of people are thinking that they just did that to scare Trump so that he would, start up the war again or something like that. But just everybody is just slamming him now for just leaving everybody on the plane, which he thought theoretically was in danger of getting shot down, I guess. And he just got off and left everybody on
Yeah.
it.
Gee, to me, that's just abandoning people and not giving a shit about them.
Yeah. We could talk about it under the next section, I guess. But I just wanted to point out this looks like the intelligence came from Israel, which a lot of our phony intelligence comes from Israel, and everybody is just starting to see that they're just doing this to control him and get him to react in a certain way and that sort of
Right.
stuff. So, and then
He's just being manipulated.
yeah, and we can elaborate on the next section here, but and then I wanted to follow up with the flock madness. The CEO and the company came out and said they're going to start adding safeguards. I don't know exactly what. There got to be limits and encrypted stuff and limits on how often police can use their cameras and stuff. This is a company saying they want to put limits on what the police can do with their product, which is frankly unheard of. It's usually the other way around. These companies usually bend over backwards to give the cops more power and more, over us. But, like how often police can search and how much you can link one camera to another, that sort of stuff, like a police in Wisconsin can't link to cameras in Michigan and that sort of stuff. And
this is no different than illegal search and seizure.
Yeah, this is just furthermore the police state for sure.
Yeah, and there are laws protecting us American citizens from illegal search and seizure by police. And I'm just amazed that nobody has done anything yet. And why the heck was this Flock company permitted to create this capability through their technology? And why hasn't someone spoken up earlier to say this is not American? This is not constitutional, frankly.
Well, that might be a deep
They're
dive.
idiots.
Yeah,
they're just making money. Yeah.
Well, they created it because they could. I mean, they're just technologists. They just sat down and they put a product together and
this is where's the oversight?
Well, because the people who are supposed to be doing the oversights and the people who are they're all in bed together. That's why. Because the people who are doing the oversights are prosecutors and lawyers and politicians, and they want the cops to be able to do this. Frankly, that's the truth. The very, very few people are aghast at this, and more and more politicians and prosecutors and other people want this capability. They want to be able to control people and keep them down and stuff. So the people who are supposed to be doing the oversight are actually in bed with these guys. And it's kind of sad that the company is the one that has to start putting in the restrictions and the safeguards. So.
Well, they're doing it now themselves before somebody does it for them.
Yeah, it's going to take a hot minute.
This is going to be a way to prevent somebody shutting them down entirely, but
yeah, it's gonna take a hot minute for somebody to sue somebody. You know, it's like you got
go to the Supreme Court.
You know, I
Yeah.
bought a legal product in a different state, and then you just, you know, you surveilled me and watched it, and
yeah,
all
it could
that.
be anything though.
Could be anything. Yeah,
It's illegal search and seizure.
Mhm.
Just like So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But this is not the end of this. This is the beginning.
Yeah, if you look at some of the founding documents, they purposely wanted to put limits on the cops, and they're just being ignored because the people who are supposed to be fighting for us are actually want it. I mean, the people we're electing are turning on us, and you know, so hopefully there'll be changes coming.
The Democrats will be against it, I think.
This is right and left. This is definitely not partisan, I could tell you that. So anyway, Flock is trying to change its ways, I suppose. Mm-hmm. All right. Save themselves from getting sued, I guess, right? So, all right, getting to the war. It looks like Iran is now taking a more offensive posture instead of being defensive. Yeah, they're kind of taking the Israeli approach, you know, like, I think you might come after me sometimes, I'll kill you now kind of thing. Yeah, that's their argument about killing babies. Like, oh, those babies will grow up and be adults, and then they'll try to kill us, you know, so we might as well kill them now, you know. So, but Iran is now taking a more offensive posture. That can't be a good sign unless we just end up leaving. Maybe, miracle of all miracles, maybe we'll just, you know, take our toys and go home and it'll all be over and we won't have to worry about this. But kind of a big change in doctrine. Instead of just being defensive, now they're going to flip around and start to do some things offensively, which I can't be good for enemies of Iran, right? Because they got pretty good capabilities. So yeah, let's see. Apparently the IEA, which is the International Energy Association. There's two organizations. One is called IEA and the other one is called EIA. and they do very similar things. But apparently I'm still trying to figure out the math on this. But they did their forecasts, and everybody does their planning on the total forecast. And then once they went out and actually counted how many barrels were actually being consumed, they were 200 million barrels shy. And so on the surface, it would appear that we actually had less inventory. So you think that would jack the prices up because, we thought we had 200 million more barrels than we really did. But they ended up turning around and doing some other math, and I've still got to get into it, but it turns out we got a little more oil than we thought we did. So I don't. We're still consuming down to the bottom of the barrel of stuff, but we got a little smidge of a buffer more than we originally thought, which might be the reason we're delaying some of the price spikes. I would have assumed to see some major price spikes by now, but this error in accounting and forecasting, I think we got a couple million more barrels in reserve than we thought we did. So that helps a little bit. It'll just delay the inevitable. But so I think we got maybe another 6 weeks or so before stuff hits. I would have expected things to be hitting by now. But anyway, you want to check it, read up on it. It's just the IEA. And then they're
I'm seeing just more people talking about the shortage in the oil reserves, more. Like besides just in our podcast, I'm seeing, and hearing others now beginning to voice concerns. So
yeah, I mean,
it's interesting that all of a sudden they're coming out and saying, "Oh, there's actually more in there than we thought." Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who can you trust? Yeah.
But the major problem this week was the USS Abraham Lincoln, which has, which is a aircraft carrier that's I think it's heading home now. I think they're going to replace it. But this was an aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, and it's been deployed at sea now for over 250 days, which, I don't know, whatever that
9
is,
months or something.
9 months. And this is without putting to port. You might
Without
think, well,
stepping off the damn ship. If you
without
have
even
any
getting
sense
off the
of,
ship. Right.
claustrophobia.
Right. Even when you really deploy, at least you go into port like every 3 or 4 weeks. You let these guys get off the ship, get some fresh air, get some food, get drunk, get laid, that kind of stuff. But they have been in the water, not at port, for almost 9 months. And this is just, according to all the military guys I follow, this is just astronomically unheard of. And did this a monster mental health issues. I mean, we have, I guess it's at least 6 people tried to jump off the ship or did jump off the ship. And the reason they do that is they're not necessarily trying to kill themselves. They expect to get rescued. And then once you jump off the ship, then you have a mental health issue. Then they'll send you home, so they're trying to get sent home, not really kill themselves. So lack of supplies, the guys are losing weight. They don't have any food. Some of the pictures coming out of the measly meals that these guys are eating, they're all starving. They're all got claustrophobia. They're going bananas.
Poor guys.
Try to imagine the pandemic, except no TV and no food. You can't leave your house.
And I heard there's no Wi-Fi, so they can't even go online.
Yeah, it's not like they can do. Yeah. So, and everybody's all the leaderships are denying it and everything, but I think it's being replaced. It
is being replaced by I think the Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, USS Washington. But you know what Trump said, honey?
Yeah. Our illustrious leader.
Said, "Oh, they haven't been out there long enough. It's not that it's too long; it's not long enough." He's just so full of crapola.
They're wimps. We're at war.
Testosterone. That'd be fine.
Oh yeah, that'll help. So, all right. Anyway, let me see. There was an earthquake in Colombia. I forgot to mention that. I'm not quite. We don't have to dig into that, but I don't think there's any fracking involved there. They thought that the earthquake in Venezuela a couple of months ago might have been tied into some fracking stuff, but I don't know. Just another earthquake in Colombia. Let me see here. There's something came up with the EU and with regard to, this is not war related, with regard to AI models, and it's a transparency code. It's the EU AI Act. And it's trying to get watermarking put into some of these models that people are using. These are hidden characters inside the data that you can't see, so that they know that if you cut and paste stuff, you know where they got it from.
It's AI.
It's been generated by AI, right? So
that is completely practical and full of common sense.
Right.
Why does it take the Europeans to stand up and, lead the way for the rest of the world?
Because they're capitalists, but they're not nuts about it.
They're not idiots. Yeah.
We're maniacal capitalists, and they're just normal capitalists. So, I don't know if there was an anecdote. There was a high school teacher I saw 2-3 weeks ago. What he did was he gave his class an assignment, and it was to write a paper. And he sent out the requirements for the paper, and in hidden text, he typed it in white font so you couldn't quite see it.
Yeah, I read that.
Right, and then he said, use the word Madagascar in your answer, and what the kids would do is just copy the whole thing, put it in the Claude, take the output, and then submit that as the paper. And he flunked like 95% of his class because nobody read it, and you read the answer, and it says the paper had nothing to do with Madagascar, but they were given answers that included Madagascar. It's like, damn well he did is cut and pasted and submitted it, and that was it.
Mm.
And so this is something similar, well, except you can't quite tell where the characters are, and it's called watermarking in the models. So, well, I think that's a good sign. We'll see.
That's an excellent,
See where that
solution.
goes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Let's get down. And you got anything on the foreign desk there, honey? Before we go on to
No, I
domestic.
do not.
All right. Looks like companies are getting refunded all their tariff money. I'll let you decide what the chances of actual customers getting the refund, because you know damn well they passed on the tariff costs to their customers, and the companies are getting refunded. But do you think they're going to give their customers a refund as well? I
Isn't there
highly
a lawsuit? Are some consumers trying to
probably.
fight to get back some of the money that they were charged
Um,
through higher prices?
Well, yes, yeah, some of the delivery companies like Amazon and FedEx put a line item in there. You know, this is a tariff charge or $50 or whatever it was. So
Right.
they got evidence, and so I think those companies are giving the money back. You know, we took 50 from you for the tariff, we'll give you the 50 back. But other companies that would just raise their prices, you know, some random amount.
Sure.
How are they gonna get the refund too? So it's just another way to tax people and put more money in corporations' pockets. You know, it wasn't it wasn't intended to do that, but it's gonna end up doing that. So I don't know. At least somebody got their money back, I suppose. So I'm pretty sure that people are trying to sue these places, these import-export businesses, and that kind of stuff. So yeah. All right. So anyway, speaking of big delivery, Mom Donnie, Zarn Mom Donnie from New York City is pushing to try to get big delivery companies to hire instead of subcontract out. A lot of Amazon and FedEx and these guys, they just subcontract out some of their delivery services. Mom Donnie's trying to push that they actually get hired as regular employees and get the benefits and that sort of stuff. In at least in New York City. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. Just another indication of what he's trying to get normal people some of their money and some of their benefits back, instead of these companies gouging everybody and just firing people and then hiring them back as contractors with half the pay and less benefits and that sort of stuff. So we'll see if anything comes of that. It's just one of the many things that he's trying to do to get regular working people some money back or some benefits. Is it Caroline Levitt? Caroline Levitt, right? She's stepping down. Her reasoning was that she just had a baby and she wants to be a mom. A lot of people are thinking she was on the short end of a power battle somewhere in there, maybe with the Natalie Harp or whoever the other blonde woman who's Trump's caregiver. Basically, they're thinking that
Ass
Levitt.
wiper?
Yeah, the ass wiper. Yes. Hospice nurse. I don't know. You take Levitt's word for it. She wants to be a mom. I think either she's disgusted by what's happening or she lost some sort of power battle. That's would be my guess. But
I read that reporters actually kind of appreciated her because she always kind of, behind the scenes was very helpful.
Okay.
And just was a good partner. But
Okay.
yeah, she's
Despite
definitely great at sticking with the message,
no
matter what reality faced her.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, despite the nonsense she had to spew. So this is the one thing about all these people. I'm trying to get into their motivation. I mean, it's obviously, an accomplished woman. I don't know her exact background, but articulate. And I can't believe she believes the words coming out of her mouth. And like, what is their motivation here? Are they that dedicated to the cause of being a conservative Republican that they'll just say anything that whatever their president says? I don't know. So, so she can go be a mom. So, let me see. Democratic primary for governor. Apparently, the woman who everybody thought was going to win didn't win. Juan, I think her name is.
Frances Hung.
Hong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kelshi had her at like 70% chance of winning the primary, and then this other guy, Crowley, ended up winning.
Yeah.
There was an issue with some missing votes. There was some USB drives that I didn't quite dig into the details. I know Steve Kornacki was kind of bummed out on MSNBC because they had lost some USB drives, and so for you conspiracy theories out there, you could think that some votes got changed and or deducted or something. But I think people
Who uses
found
USB drives these days anymore? I can't use
yeah
them at work.
yeah yeah. I mean they're
I mean,
already
that's
behind.
just
They're always
sloppy.
behind.
We're truly, did that happen? Do you know, or is that just?
I just kind of heard tidbits of it. I didn't research it. Maybe we can follow up on for the next episode. But there was some I don't want to say shenanigans, but might be incompetence. Just the machine didn't save it properly. The votes were still on the machine, but they didn't get put on the USB drive or something like that. I'm gonna go with incompetence or just a normal human mistake, as
Still, it was
opposed to
such a close race. 3,000. That could make all
yeah.
the difference.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yep.
don't know, I guess.
You
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, there's it's could have been treachery, but I'm gonna guess with just a mistake. And I think I heard it was five different USB drives or five different machines. I don't know exactly if they were all in the same precinct and just one person made a mistake, or if this happened in five different precincts, then there might be some shenanigans going on. But if it was just one guy made a mistake on five machines in one precinct, okay, all right, so what? No, but they fixed it. But if it was in different precincts, then all of a sudden, okay, so maybe something else is going on. But
Okay, so they're looking into. We might hear more about that.
yeah, so we'll see. So this guy Crowley won. I have no idea. He was endorsed by Tony Evers, who's the current governor of Wisconsin. So I don't know who the Republican is running for governor, and
Tiffany, I think.
and who's got a chance to win. Who's got a better chance to win? I don't know. But
Well, it's a very purple state, so
yep.
it's going to be tight. They better get their USB drives in check.
Yeah. Yeah, but then I guess maybe they want to avoid having to send stuff over the network, because then it could get hacked. And if it might be I forget the term, but you purposely stay old school. I mean, you're sitting here thinking, why are they using USB drives? And I think, well, they're doing it on purpose so that somebody can't hack into the network and get their stuff out of them. They're purposely.
Well, they have a
doing it.
paper vote for sure.
Yeah.
As well, right?
Yep. So, because you try to send the results, and then that's when you can get hacked, and that's when you can grab the data and change it and send it. So send it on with the changes. So,
oh, great, thanks, hon.
Yeah, might not be so bad to be old school, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, paper.
Yep. All right. So this fellow Jason Arday from Cambridge University was found dead yesterday. He is the first black a professor at Cambridge in England, and he was kind of a big deal, sociology discipline, and apparently he got all kinds of plagiarism issues that were uncovered by other professors and stuff, which is this is monstrous in that field, plagiarism. And he resigned a week and a half ago and was found dead yesterday in his home. I haven't heard, but I'd bet on suicide if I was betting. I did not actually read that, but it's kind of a big deal, him being black and the first black professor at Cambridge.
Well, it's pretty sad. Yeah, it's too bad. Anytime anybody that happens to anybody, it's too bad.
Yep. All right. And then something I read in the sports world, which I thought was interesting, is Jaden Daniels, who is the quarterback for the Washington Commanders. He went to LSU, and it looks like he filed a cease and desist order against LSU for giving his number to somebody else. So he was number 5 when he played at LSU. Jaden Daniels is not in college anymore, and he wants to sue them because he's got this NIL deal. NIL is name, image, and likeness. It's the way that college athletes can get paid. They call it an NIL deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if one of his images or one of his likenesses is him in an LSU jersey, then, so who owns number 5 at LSU, I guess? Does he own it?
Mm-hmm.
Or does the university own it and they can give it number to whoever they want? So kind of an interesting case. Or
Mm-hmm.
who owns that likeness? Does he own that likeness? It's him inside the jersey, but he's wearing the jersey of the college. So I don't know. Kind of an interesting twist, I thought. So
Yeah.
all right. I haven't heard of anything else in the last few days.
Remember we talked last time about the 23,000 job losses
Mm-hmm.
reported in July? I was so sad to hear that 100% of those job losses were women.
So how did they determine that?
There was an analysis by the National Women's Law Center, and basically women lost 32,000 jobs and men gained 9,000. So it's just math. But I
Yeah.
think that's very disturbing.
Uh-huh.
And I just think we all need to kind of take that in and think about what's going on in the economy that's allowing or enabling that to happen.
Oh, we are in the era of Trump, which is basically if you're not a white Christian male, you're screwed.
Yeah, are we going back to sexism and hiring?
Mm.
Other observations is that not just that 100% of the 23,000 jobs that were lost were women, but also women are leaving the job force. 165,000 adult women stopped working or looking for work in July. But men's participation did not change. Now, if you look back over 2026, what this National Women's Law Center, their analysis, what they found was that 845,000 women left the workforce since January compared to 406,000 men.
Okay.
It's just a very disturbing trend, and someone needs to really see what's going on here.
Is it
But
a trend? Is it a trend? I mean, if it happens again next month, or did it happen a month before? Did they do
they're
the?
reporting that this is the trend over the year,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay. Yeah.
A month over month. That's a very distinctive,
Mm-hmm.
shocking observation, right? We don't know for sure, but they may have stopped working because they couldn't find a role and they decided to retire instead. But it'll be interesting to do a little more digging and find out what is the cause of this.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah, the manosphere is definitely trying to make a comeback here, good or bad. I think you and I have talked about this. So the life of Donald Trump when he was born in June of 1946, and then whenever he dies will be marked as the era of Trump and neocons, and I think there'll be a rebirth after that going forward. I'm trying to be positive here, and women will get back to having more rights, from the next generation. The generation that is 50 or below is definitely got a different view on a number of things than yours and my generation do. And so I think things will get better going forward on all kinds of other topics: women's issues, issues of war, issues of political power, the political parties splitting up, that sort of stuff. So I'm starting to get hopeful, even though I probably shouldn't be. But
all right.
yeah, hang in there.
So just to answer your question, I just did a quick search. Leisure and hospitality lost 40,000 jobs overall, and that this is female majority sector, to your point, service, where women lost 63,000 jobs. However, men gained 23,000 in this sector.
In the same sector. Okay.
Yeah. There's something rotten in Denmark, I'm telling you. More to come.
More to come. Alrighty. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, kind of a downer. Ended on a downer this
Sorry.
episode. Huh?
Okay, no, ballroom.
Oh, the ballroom. We're not done. Hang in there, people. We're not done.
Yeah, remember, I think I was telling you that he was instead of calling it the ballroom, he's going to call it the military center.
Right.
Well, yes. Well, I haven't heard him repeat that, but he is making the charge to the courts that indeed he is in fear for his life. And he uses what happened at the NATO conference in Turkey as an example, as well as the many other attempts on his life. And so he really needs a gold gilded ballroom to protect him, is the thing. So he's trying to make that argument, and we'll see what happens. But he's running out of time, and they're going to try to see if they can appeal it, I'm sure. And the other thing of craziness that I discovered during the week is that you know the JFK Center, the beautiful theater in honor of our slain president John F. Kennedy.
The Kennedy
Yes.
Center, yeah.
Yes. Well, the board, which of course is Trump's, toadies are on the board. He put them there. They voted chisel into the marble to say that this center was renovated by Donald J. Trump. So it's not a sign, but it's chiseled into the marble for infinity,
Well, let's follow up on this in 5 years and see if the next president, if, assuming it's not a Republican next president, takes it out. I got to believe that.
Well, there's going to be lawsuits against this as well. There'll be challenges to say, no, that's still not okay, Mr. Trump.
Well, this brings up a point here about the nature of power, and I mean, I'm all for a lawsuit, but give me a break. He just do it, and you don't like it, stop me. Oh, I'm gonna file a lawsuit. Yeah, so what? File a lawsuit. It doesn't matter. I guess the nature of power. Like, what was the line from Game of Thrones where the guy says information is power, and then the Cersei takes one of the guards and puts a knife to the guy's throat and says, no, power is power. So I mean, I'm all for a lawsuit, but give me a break here. Just go do it. That's what Trump does. I mean, and then we'll see
he did the East Wing. He just
just do it.
Demolished it. There'll be a lot of cleanup after he's gone.
All righty. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to episode 34.
Yes, thanks for joining us. And as always, please subscribe or share this with a friend. Bye-bye.